Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me on this Monday. Always, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe on Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram and on TikTok at I'm Not Repeating Myself pod. Excuse me. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I know I definitely did. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into this, man. So we had a pretty eventful week, man. We had a very, very eventful week. A lot of chatter on the timeline. You know, something major happened on Tuesday, and there was an assassination of this guy named Charlie Kirk. Now, when I first seen this, I didn't know who this guy was for real. I just see everybody on the TL be like, "Oh, Charlie Kirk got popped. Charlie Kirk got popped." I'm like, who is this Charlie Kirk guy? So I go and I do my research, and I see who Charlie Kirk was, and he was allegedly killed by this white boy named Tyler Robinson, 22 years old. He got into custody. I think that was Friday. Friday. So Charlie Kirk was killed at a speaking event that he usually does. He go to college campuses, have these debates, speaking events. This was in Utah. I think it was at actually Utah State University, if I'm not mistaken. He was killed by a shot from over 200 yards away, and it hit him in his neck. Got to the hospital. He was in critical condition. Ended up passing away. So when I'm doing my research on who this Charlie Kirk guy was, and when I first seen him, I was like, oh, I seen him before, but it was like in passing through like on the timeline and shit like that. It was nothing that I really stuck to and paid attention to. But when I seen his face, I was like, oh, okay, I seen this guy before. Charlie Kirk was a conservative, heavily connected to MAGA and stuff like that. And all I really have to say is, and what I'm about to say is really directed towards niggas. I don't really care about what white people feel about this, how they feel about this. If you was against Charlie Kirk, cool. If you with him, cool. But my dialogue is really gonna be directed towards niggas. So when I first seen this, I seen a lot of niggas, saying, "Oh, I'm not celebrating nobody's death," and he was a father, he was a husband, and my thing is this: when y'all do your research, so you find out somebody is a racist like he was, you know, why is it that the first thing y'all want to lean on is he was a father and husband? Like a father and husband can't be a terrible. Like there's plenty of people out here who are father and husbands and are terrible people. He was a terrible person. I literally seen this guy say that if his 10-year-old daughter got R-word, he would still deliver the baby. But this is the father and husband that y'all keep talking about. Oh, we don't gotta have, we can have political different views and all this. The man didn't give a fuck about black people, and he didn't give a fuck about his own daughter, based off of what I seen. But this is the person that y'all keep going up for. Like, I seen countless black people just be like, oh, yeah, well, we don't got... Bruh, I have no sympathy for racists. None, zero. Like, this is not me celebrating dog death. I just don't give a fuck. And when I find out who somebody is, yeah, my sympathy bar goes down. That's just what it is. So I just want to see why do us, and some of us, be so quick to run to that. Like we really got, it's like you coming to the defense. I seen a funny ass tweet. I wish I could find that shit because I should have had it saved. And it was basically a black person is just like, yo, to the white people, we're on your side with this and all that, I'm ready to fight for you. And then a white person replied like, well, you can help by packing your bags and leaving the US. We got this. And shit like that happens every single time. Every single time. A white person can literally show you who they are as a person, and y'all still will find a way to mask them as if they was this innocent person. He didn't give a fuck about you, your family, your kind, your skin type, all that. All of that. He didn't. He just didn't. So for any black person to have any type of sympathy for dog, it's funny to me. And again, y'all keep talking about him being a father and a husband. Bro, the man don't get... His daughter's going to have to grow up and see that video one day. His daughter is going to have to grow up and see that video one day. Like, damn, my dad said if I got R word, he would still deliver the baby. And you can go look this up. And none of this shit I'm making up. I'm not about to play none of the videos because it is really unnecessary. I don't feel the need to do that. But you can go do your proper research. But I seen a few. I was just looking like, damn, bro, you too? Like, really? And then the first thing is, oh, I ain't celebrating nobody. Bro, it's not about celebrating nobody's death. And if there are, and if you do see people celebrating his death, that's on them. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Nobody's asking you to celebrate anything. That's the shit that kills me. It's like, who said you had to celebrate his death? If you see somebody is blatantly showing you who they are as a racist, why do you feel the need to preface your comments by saying, oh, he was a father and a husband? Them titles don't mean shit. And if you was to get killed, he would have no sympathy for you neither. Because he said when it comes to the Second Amendment that, yeah, we do have to have some deaths in order to keep the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. He said that. He literally said it verbatim. So if you was a victim of gun violence, he wouldn't give a fuck about you. And what's so crazy is that when he spoke up for and against, that shit came back to visit him. Ain't that some crazy shit? That's what I found. It's like, damn, like you was all this pro gun violence, really didn't like. He literally said he don't even believe in the word empathy. He literally said that. He don't believe in the word empathy. So why do you feel the need to have it for him? That's literally my question. Again, my message is to niggas. I don't really care. Again, I don't really care about how white people view this topic because this is another white man killed another white man. I'm just really speaking to how, I've seen a lot of black people, talk about this. And I'm not saying majority of black people had that notion. There was some who's in media, personalities and all this other shit that I was just like, damn, bro, like, you two? You one of them. You one of them motherfuckers. I think it'd just be better to like shut the fuck up. Because again, when I found out who Dawg was, I was just like, it's just like, Weebay on the wire. Like, it is what it is. Again, it's not me celebrating. It's just like, oh, okay. It's not like you stood up for nothing. You damn sure didn't have the best interests of black people, minorities, period, women's rights. He actually had a disrespectful comment towards black women. Like they're not capable of having certain conversations or something along them lines. Again, you go look up all this shit. But I'm like, because I pride myself in doing research on people before, I get to talking. I don't really like to jump on the bandwagon and just, say what's popular or none of that shit. But that motherfucker was a full-blown racist, bruh. A full-blown racist. They didn't give a fuck about nobody. Strong MAGA views, no conservative, that whole nine. So it's just like, hey, man, it is what it is. That's basically where I'm at with it. It is what it is. The guy, Tyler Robinson, his father turned him in. That was fucking crazy. That was insane. So I don't know if his father had, he agreed with Charlie Kirk's views. I really didn't read too much on that, but he definitely turned his own son in. That's fucking insane to me. When I seen, I was like, damn, you turned your own son in. For Charlie Kirk. And I really didn't know the magnitude of who this guy was. And I seen the New York Yankees make a Twitter post about how, they're lowering the flags halfway. Because he got killed on the 10th. So September 11th was the next day. They was like, yo, for the next game, we're going to lower the flags. Or something along them lines. Donald Trump said some of the same thing. But what I'm also seeing, too, is that Donald Trump kind of really didn't fuck with Dawg like that, even though he aligned with his, political views. So I had to do some more research in terms of that. But just on the basis of who this guy was, yeah, man, like, come on, man. Niggas got to stop, bro. Niggas got to stop. Niggas is doing a lot. And it's just, I feel like as if how black people view racists, you as a black person just need to shut the fuck up when you find out that somebody is. We don't need to hear the comments about how, oh yeah, we don't gotta celebrate and we can have difference of of political views. Yeah, we can have a difference of political views, but you don't gotta be a fucking racist and hateful person either. Because there are some white people out here who do have different political views who are not racist. That's a fact. He wasn't the embodiment of that. He wasn't. That's just what it is. And as somebody who was going from campus to campus and, having these debates, it was just like blatant with it. Like just really didn't care. Just out there in the open with it. Didn't give a fuck. So no, I can't have sympathy for a person who carried himself like that. And people need to be mindful of just how you carry yourself as a person, period. It's not hard to be a good person, bro. It's really not. It's really not. It's not hard to be a good person and to mind your business. It's really not. Now, granted, I live in the reality. The reality is we do have a lot of racist people in the world. We do have a lot of hateful people in the world. But you also got to remember there's people on the opposite side of that who, you got this guy, Tyler Robinson, who might want to feel like, I got to go handle that. So I think in a lot of these cases, if for him to be 22 years old, because he definitely going to jail for life, you can go ahead and pack that up. You can go ahead and 22 years old too. Yeah, he's getting up out of here. But I think it's also a reminder too that because I had never really seen no shit like this, especially in the social media era, in terms of seeing a death like that live on camera, somebody getting shot, especially in their neck. Like, I seen the video one time, I didn't want to see it again. But I had never seen no shit like that live on camera. I think the last time you probably could think about something happen like that was probably like JFK. But you got to think that was 63, so you didn't have camera phones, social media, and all that other shit like that. But I really can't think back to when another white person was killed on camera in that fashion. In front of thousands of people, too. Thousands of people. Like, that was just insane. So I say all that to say, man, at the end of the day, have your views, do what you want to do, but niggas, please stop prefacing comments with this father-husband shit. It's so lazy. It's insensitive. And just because you're a father and a husband, that don't make you a good person, bruh. It don't. Because, again, his daughter is going to have to grow up and see that video of him saying, yeah, if my daughter got R-worded, she would still have to deliver that baby. Huh? This is the person this is the person that y'all going up for. The quote-unquote father-husband. Oh, we don't always got to agree. Yes, motherfucker, we know that. That ain't got nothing to do with him being a fucking racist. Because once I find out you're a racist, fuck your political views. I don't give a fuck about your political views. And I don't do too much on politics anyway, but shit just be clear as day what the fuck it is. It be clear as day what the fuck it is. So what conversation is there to be had? It's just, hey, it is what it is. I'm not about to go outside, start, throwing a party and shit like that, but you can't get no sympathy this way. And a lot of other black people who are like-minded like myself, you ain't gonna get that from them. And then what kills me too also is the ones who always say, like, I didn't know who he was, but why y'all... Then shut the fuck up then. If you don't know who he was, why do you feel the need to jump on the timeline? See, that just be that dick riding shit. You jumping out the window to dick ride because it's a hot topic. If you don't know who he was and you feel like people are celebrating somebody's death, go do your fucking research before you say something. And just shut the fuck up. I hate the top two things motherfuckers love to do. Father, husband, we don't gotta have, we can have different views. And that shit is so fucking lazy, bro. And again, insensitive. Because again, had you been a victim of gun violence, he probably be pissing on your grave. Probably wouldn't even acknowledge your ass. Because he had some comments about George Floyd too. That was just factually incorrect about how he died. Like, we got the medical reports, bro. We know why the man died. And he going against that. Racist white people don't need you to be their fucking savior, bruh. They don't. They don't. You can just shut the fuck up and be quiet. Especially if you don't know who you're talking about. You just scrolling on social media, you seeing people talk about this guy. Go do your fucking research first. And even then, if you still feel the need to defend that motherfucker, don't. Because the majority of black people not trying to hear that shit. We not. So that's pretty much all I got on that, man. Because I was just like, God damn, bro. Like every time one of them, it feel like it's the need for one of these niggas to come out here and get on their fucking throw the cape on. For a motherfucker who wouldn't care about you if you died. He wouldn't. It was blatant in his message and his deliveries when he was going to talk on these college campuses, when he was on his podcast, all that. Again, you could go look all this shit up. Just in case you misinformed, not just in case you are misinformed about who you defending, who you going to bat for. So hey, that's pretty much all I got on that, man. So moving on, man. Young Thug premiered a new record called Miss My Dawgs. And also he has an album that is coming out on the 19th. And you know what's so crazy, because when I spoke about this last week, I talked about, you know, when Thug dropped Closing Arguments, and I was like, I hope this is a continuous theme of him dropping music, potentially an album. I didn't think an album was going to come this quick, but we are getting an album from Thug on Friday. This is going to be because Cardi also released that day as well. So yeah, and just listening to the record, that record is long too. Just basically addressing everything, you know, apologizing to, you know, people disrespected, whatever the case may be. I actually like the record. I felt like Thug slid on that. I do like Miss My Dawgs. The first verse, of course, is going towards girl. You know, you talked about, you know, Drake on the record, Lil Baby, others as well. But I like Miss My Dawgs. And this is the direction I felt Thug should always be taking. Just go ahead, put whatever you feeling out in the records, bro, in the music. Go ahead and put it out in the music, bro. Because again, you're on probation. You know, you got home, you beat this Rico. All you need to be doing is focusing on your art form. And the video is dope too. Shout out to the video. I do like the video. But I think this is where Thug needs to go out. Shout out to whoever made the beat. That beat was fire. But I do like the direction that Thug went with this. I like how he's, you know what? Let me say all this internet shit, and let me just go ahead and get in the booth. Let me put what I'm feeling out on these records, and I fuck with it, bro. I think it's a dope record. I think this is one of his most heartfelt records in terms of like getting his feelings out, you know, and putting it in his true art form. So that's Miss My Dawgs. If you got a chance to go check that out, please go check that out. But I was just a little bit confused in terms of why Lil Baby not answering his phone. Like, I don't know why. Why wouldn't Lil Baby be picking up his phone? I don't think they was beefing or had no issues or nothing like that. Unless I missed one of them jail calls when he was saying some slick shit about him, because Lord knows he was saying some slick shit about a lot of motherfuckers on them jail calls. But that Young Thug record is hard, man. It definitely is hard. Let me see, because yeah, that record is 7 minutes. The record is 7 minutes long, bro. Like, and he dropped this. What was that? That was on the 11th. So yeah, that was on the 11th. He dropped that record, and he didn't address Gunna in that. So again, going back to the interview, I feel like as if, you know, he really might be closing that chapter in terms of him and Gunna ever, you know, coming back making music again. Cause if you go look at the interview and you watch how he was talking about Gunna, it's somebody again who feels like, you know, he was just betrayed and hurt by somebody that he really took under his wing, he really loved. It's not like he hates him, because I don't believe Thug hates him, but he is really hurt and upset with what Gunna did as far as betraying him. But if you got a chance, please go check the song out on his Twitters, on his YouTube. Is Man, I Miss My Dawgs. And again, this is the path that Thug needs to stay on. Just stay making the music, bro. Cause man, I miss my dogs is again, this record is 7 minutes long. I don't ever think Thug ever made a 7 minute record before. Just really addressing everything, getting it all out. And again, the beat was hard. Shout out to whoever made the beat, but he skated on that shit. He skated on that shit. I fuck with it. And again, this is the direction he needs to keep going forward, bro. Stay off the internet. Don't fuck with that other shit. Continue to get in the booth and lay that shit down. And his album is slated to come out also. I think it's called UI Scuddy. And I think it's supposed to be coming out on the 19th. Yeah, so shout out to Young Thug for Miss My Dogs. And I'm definitely anticipating that album, man. Definitely anticipating that album. So next up, in connection with Young Thug, so there was a Glorilla diss. This shit was hilarious, bro. Now, like I said, it was a funny week, man. It really was. It was a hilarious week, man. Hilarious, bro. Let me see where we at with it. So Glorilla, there was allegedly a Glorilla diss track that leaked. I don't think she really came out and put her stamp on it. But she released, there was a leaked diss track called Brianna. It was basically dissing Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist. And she basically took a play off of, so this is for, more so people in my generation. Back in the day, there was a track from Young Jock and Hot Styles called Looking Boy, when they basically it was just like a roasting, it was just a roasting record. Looking Ass Boy, you have a chance, go look that up. So it basically was a play off that. And she was just getting that Thug crazy, bro. She was getting that Thug crazy. That shit was hilarious, bro. She called him a Jamaican Vegeta. She was getting that Mariah the Scientist all crazy. I fuck it, and again, I don't think it was an official diss track. It leaked, so I don't know if she really put her name on it or not. But I'm just going based off what I seen. But that shit was hilarious in my opinion, bro. I think that was a funny ass diss record. I really didn't expect if Glorilla makes a diss track, this is what I expect. I'm not expecting like no barring up shit, her going crazy, no crazy ass metaphors. I expect it to be like a roasted session, like how this track was. That's basically how I approached it. Like, oh, okay, I got you. Like, this is direction she's gonna go. But I felt like that shit was hilarious, bro. That shit was hilarious. Like, I'm gonna play a little bit of what she was saying on this record. Hold on. So yeah, that's a little bit of the record, and I don't know why that ring alarm shit was going on throughout that record too. Again, this track is longer than that, but I only played like a few seconds of it. But it was like if you got the ring alarm app, the doorbell shit when somebody walking around the vicinity or whatever, that shit was going on throughout the record. But if you got a chance, go check that record out. I think it's called Brianna. And again, this was a leak, so I didn't really think that she came out and put her stamp on it. So yeah. Shout out to Gorilla for that diss track, man. That shit was funny. But Thug should have seen that shit coming. Thug should have seen that shit coming. He should have seen that shit coming because when them jail calls and he was talking crazy about her, and what's funny is because when she heard that shit, she got on Twitter. She was like, "Oh, this is the same nigga who, was asking about my eye color or some shit like that, something like that." So he had to see a diss coming. He had to see a diss coming, bro. I'm not surprised that this shit came out. Again, I didn't expect Glorilla to get on no diss track and bar shit up or go crazy, but if she was gonna go a direction, I'm not surprised this is the direction that she went. Like basically playing again, playing off that Hot Styles Young Jock record, Looking Boy. That shit was hilarious, bro. That's some shit that I feel like Gorilla would do. Like if she get on a diss track, she just about to be roasting your ass. That shit was hilarious. You get a chance, go check that out. And I think she got an album coming out next year. I think. Yeah, I think she got an album that's coming out next year. It's gonna be heavily featured. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find that because I did see somebody post about that the other day. Let me see. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, no, I didn't see it. Okay, so I can't find the tweet, but she is slated to have an album that's coming out soon. I think it's either January. So that's basically you gotta think we towards the end of the year now. So before you know it, January will be here anyway. So shout out to Glorilla for that diss track, man. That shit was hilarious. I know Mariah the scientist is not about to reply to no shit like that. You know, she that's not I don't think that's her lane. Young Thug, I don't know, he might. But he already apologized. So it would be kind of weird. That's another thing. It would be kind of weird for Young Thug to had apologized. He heard this record and then he circled back and be like, "No, fuck that. I'm gonna diss Glorilla back." That would be some funny shit. That would be some funny shit. Cause I know when he was sitting back listening to that shit, he was like, all right. Especially after I done apologized. But you gotta take what come with that though. She probably was like, nah, nigga, fuck that apology. You was talking crazy with me. You talking crazy about me on them jail calls, nigga. I'm about to get out your ass. And again, she was getting on his ass on that track. If you have a chance to go check out that track, it's called Brianna. So moving on, Cam and 50. Camron and 50 Cent. 50 Cent purchased the rights to Paid in Full, and he will be dropping a TV series based off of Paid in Full. Of course, if you listen to the show, you should know what Paid in Full is. If you don't, I'm disappointed, but just please go watch that. That's one of the greatest movies of all time. Basically, it plays off, of course, of the AZ, AZ Rich Porter and Alpo Martinez story based out of Harlem. So if you get a chance, please go see that movie. But I'm excited about Cam and 50 doing this, man. I think it's real dope. I think it's definitely in 50's realm as far as what he's doing. Of course, if you follow 50, what he's been doing with the Powerverse, he's been killing that shit, bro. I've always said it turns of power. I really didn't like Power Book 2 Ghost. I didn't really like the other spinoffs. I didn't like Tommy Show, but Razor Kanan been killing that shit. I've definitely been a fan of Razor Kanan since he's done that show. But Cam and 50 collaborating on this project, definitely. That shit fire. I will definitely be tuned into that shit. I'm interested to see who he's going to get casted, what the storyline is going to be. Just so on, because that's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely top 5. I still watch that movie consistently till this day. I really fuck with Paid in Full. But if anybody was going to get their hands on this series, it definitely should have been 50 Cent. 50 Cent been killing shit as far as TV shows. When he first came into it, and see, I got on the Power late. So when I started watching Power 2016, you got to think it was already 2 seasons out by then. So by the time 2016 rolled around, shout out my nigga Keith, he had put me on Power. I'm like, nah, this nigga 50, he get busy with this shit. So I know 50's going to do a great job with this Paid in Full series. I already know the wardrobe is going to be on point. The casting is going to be on point. I don't see this as a TV series that is gonna be fumbled. I really don't. And shout out to Camron and 50 for, again, we all know Cam and 50, they had beef back then, but now they put that shit to bed, and now they collaborating on some dope shit. And that's really what it's all up. That's really what it's about at the end of the day. Put all that old shit to the side, coming together, doing some dope shit. And I'm also interested to see how they implement the storyline as far as like the play off in the movie. Basically what I'm saying is it gonna start like how the movie started, or is it gonna be kind of like a playoff at the ending, like after Rich had died and all this other shit, kind of like a sequel type shit. I'm interested to see how that go with flashes of what happened in the duration of the timeline in that movie. You get what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see if it's going to be exactly how the movie started and ended and then go to the aftermath of after Rich dying, or does it start when Rich dies and then they do just like flashbacks of what happened in the duration of that movie. So again, shout out to 50. I think that's some dope shit. Of course, Dame Dash has something to say about it. Of course, Dame. Oh man, Dame. And again, I spoke about this last week, man. So of course, Dame had something to say about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play what Dame had to say.
Cam just made a post, major announcement. I want to congratulate him for making 50 his new boss. So congratulations, Cam. 50 is now your new boss, and you're proud of it. Congratulations, my nigga.
So, like I said last week, bro, again, Dame, I just wish Dame the best. I really do. And I mean that when I say that. And I'm going to continue saying it because he's going through some health problems. But my God, bro, the bitterness got to come to an end at some point in time, bro. The bitterness got to come to an end. Just let it the fuck go, bro. You still on this bullshit. Bro, if everybody's a boss, who's really working? If everybody's a boss, who's really working? Just because you work for somebody don't make you less of a man, bro. And that's not even how the world works. There's levels to everything. And all that video told me is that Dame wants to be a part of it. His pride won't let him admit it, though. But Dame 100% wants to be a part of that. He does. He 100% wants to be a part of that whole TV series. It's not like he don't need to work. He need to work. So it would be both for all. It would be the best for all three of them, especially Dame. Put your pride to the side, bro. Because if I was him, I would have hit him up like, yo, like, y'all need another producer, somebody to seek talent, whatever the case may be. Like, Dame should have flipped that as an opportunity to not only squash their differences, but be a part of something that he did 20 years ago. Why not? You already in the TV, movies, and film. I would have took that as an opportunity to reach out to 50, reach out to Cam, and be like, hey, bro, listen, like, differences aside, I like what y'all doing with Paid in Full. I think it's a dope idea. I was wondering if I could be a part. And if they say no, cool. But I would have used that as an opportunity to see an open door reconciliation on top of putting out some dope shit. Not you just getting somebody to zoom in on some fake ass dramatic type shit and you throwing shade. You should have used that as an opportunity to reach out to them niggas and be like, hey, bro, listen, let's go ahead and squash this shit. I like what the fuck y'all doing with this Paid in Full shit. Let's go ahead and get busy. Let's deliver it to the people the best way we know how. I would have loved to see that. But instead, Dame's pride, pettiness won't allow him to do that. I can't see myself 55 years old, 54 years old, still being that petty, still being that bitter, holding on to some shit. And even if you are still upset, cool. People are allowed to feel however they feel for the rest of their lives. I don't care about that. Cool. But you don't got to express it every single time, especially on the fucking internet. Every time it's going to be the same shit. So what's going to happen when the first episode come out? What's going to happen when the season finale come out? What's going to happen when they reboot for a season 2, a season 3? It's going to be the same shit? Just go be a part of something special, bro. You had a hand in Paid in Full. That's a cult classic. Go be a part of that if they allow it, but I would reach out. That was one of the best movies that you had a hand in. Now I know Dame has, he got his own, he got American New Network. He's done a couple of other movies that they didn't really hit on much though. I haven't seen many of them. But when you hear Paid in Full, you think of Dame Dash. I don't think, especially what Cam is doing, is like, if Cam is petty, there might have to be a conversation that might have to be had, like I said last week. Because I think before y'all even start discussing some shit like that, you're gonna be like, yeah, we can do that, but we gotta have this conversation, bro. We need to have a conversation. And I think all three, because at the end of the day, Cam and 50 about getting to the money. And why not get some insight, get some knowledge from somebody who had a big hand in it, instead of you shitting on them talking about, oh, Cam, new boss is 50, he happy about that. God damn, bro. Shit. You should be the last one to talk about somebody have a boss, because fact of the matter is, Dame, you need it right about now. You definitely need that work right now. You could try to put on this fake and all this other shit, investing in your dreams and all that. Well, this is an opportunity for you to get better. Ain't no telling what type of bread you can make from this to help you with your financial situation. But I just hate to see a lot of our legends just continue to go out like this, bro. And again, I spoke about Cam last week too. Cam is not innocent in this shit neither. Of course, 50 is not. But just in terms of this whole paid in full thing, that could have been a window of opportunity to be like, hey, listen. Like, we can get busy with this shit right here. We can get busy with this right here. Let's all get our creative minds together and bring together one of the best TV series we've seen. And I think that shit would have flourished. So, again, salute to Cam and 50. I'm definitely excited. I definitely will be checking this out. Interested to see what network it's going to be on. I'm assuming it's probably going to be on Stars. But we all know 50, he had a little back and forth with Stars too, so we'll see. But hopefully it is on Stars, because, I mean, he ain't really dropping the ball since he been over there anyway. So, again, salute to both of them for definitely putting aside their differences and coming together and doing some dope shit. So, next up, we got Canelo versus Bud Crawford, one of the biggest anticipated fights of all time in boxing history. We all know Canelo 62-3, 40 knockouts. Bud, he was 41-0, 38 KOs, I think it was. Battling for the undisputed title. And let me see what weight class that was. Yeah, because he was going crazy. Yeah, still undefeated. Bud Crawford just made history by beating Canelo Alvarez, the first fighter ever to become undisputed in 3 weight classes. So this is for the undisputed super middleweight. So he moved up like 20 pounds. He went from 147 to 167. Yeah, because at their weigh-in, they was both 167 at the weigh-in. All I got to say is, man, salute to Bud Crawford, man. That was a clinic. I expected it to be a lot closer than what it was. This was a wash. This definitely was a wash. Like, Crawford, it was a unanimous decision, but it was just a clinic. And what I will say, though, about both fighters is both fighters got a strong chin. You wasn't dropping Canelo and you wasn't dropping Bud. I never seen Canelo hit the canvas, never seen Crawford hit the canvas, but both of them, they both got some strong chins, bro. That's one thing I took away from this fight, is that outside of the masterclass that Crawford put on, both of them got strong chins, because there was a couple of shots that Canelo took. I'm like, no way this motherfucker didn't drop, bro. Like the one towards, I think it was around 10 or 11, where he came up and hit him with that left hook, and it was like Canelo got hit, and he was just like confused, but he still stood strong. I'm like, God damn, that didn't drop him. But you could see throughout the fight, like, Bud all the shots he was taking wasn't affecting him. He was just like, nah, you can't do nothing with him. But I seen that, with the Errol Spence fight, like, a lot of the hits that Bud takes, you ain't dropping them. Great defensive performance too. Great defensive performance by Bud too. Like, you could tell Canelo, he was getting very frustrated. He was just like, damn, this shit is not connecting. It just wasn't landing. He landed most of the power punches. A lot of headshots for Bud too. A lot of headshots. So shout out to Crawford for making history, bro. Making history. I feel like at this point he should go ahead and retire. Go out on top, undefeated, undisputed in 3 weight classes. The only boxer to do that, you got nothing else to prove, bro. You got nothing else to prove, man. Bud put on a hell of a performance, bro. That was hell of a performance. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than that. But again, shout out to Canelo for putting out a great effort. It wasn't like he, laid down, because he was going down swinging. And you could tell, like, by the time round 8, 9 came around, you could tell that frustration was setting in with Canelo, and he was just like, yeah, I got to drop him. I got to try to drop him. But, You're not dropping Bud, man. You just not doing it, man. You just not doing it. And this also was a big payday for both of them as well. I think Canelo got 150 for this, and Bud got 50 million for this. So I think both of them, this is one of their highest paydays. I'm not sure if this is Canelo's highest payday, but I do know this is Bud's highest payday. But man, I was watching the All Access on Netflix, of course, and both of these guys, you could tell like boxing is in them. That's just not something they do. It's just something that's in them, especially Bud. I've heard a story about his coming up in Omaha, Nebraska. His tough upbringing. The tough love that he received from his mom kind of made him to what he is. And all I gotta say is, man, that dude is relentless, man. For you to go in 3 weight classes and just basically take belts from other fighters, a lot has to be said from that, bro. Like, and for it to be the only time that has been done. So this man has went from 140 to 147 to 167 and still remain the same fighter. See, because I did see the conversation about a lot of people feeling like, Bud might be at a disadvantage because he was moving up 21 pounds. But then I see some boxing is like, nah, like if anything, that's just going to make him more of a beast. I think this is the best version of Bud I've seen, even without a knockout. Like, of course, he got hella knockouts, but of this caliber fighter versus Canelo, this is one of his best performances of all time in his career. 100%. He didn't have to get a knockout for this to be one of his best performances. It was just a clinic. Like the way he was moving. He wasn't getting caught up against the ropes. The counters was there. The defense was there. Killing with the jab. He was just killing them with the headshots. And anytime he got hit, it was just like, nah, you got to come better than that. But I think this speaks to Bud's preparation in terms of, I think what he fears more than anything is just losing. And again, a lot of fighters are like that. But I think that's what fuels him the most, because you're not going to drop him. And then he's always going to put his best fight forward. Like, there was never a time where I felt like watching Bud throughout his career, nah, this nigga hesitant. Nah, he bullshitting tonight. Man, this nigga, he running around. Nah, he gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. He gonna seek you out first. He gonna see what type of strategy you going. Then after that, all right, we get into it. And the combinations that he was landing, it was some of the shit that I felt like Canelo hasn't seen since Floyd. I mean, this basically kind of was like a Floyd versus Canelo part 2. It just got outclassed. And it is what it is. Canelo will go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. This man been boxing more than half his life. A lot has to be said for that. A lot has to be said for that. For you to be boxing since 15 years old, Canelo's 35 now. So he been boxing for more than half of his life, bro. That's a great resume. So he, 62. I think this would be his 3rd loss. So this would be 62-3, still for dog. And I think it was Top Rank or somebody just released the top boxers of the century. I think he came in like at number 2 and number 3. So great career. Nothing to hang his head on, man. I mean, you went up against an all-timer. All-timer, bro. Like, when it's all said and done, Bud got to go down as at least top 3 boxer of all time. For me, my goat is Floyd Mayweather. So I would put Bud probably at least 3 or 5 in between that 3 to 5 range. There could be an argument for him to be 2, but he's right there with him. He's right there with him. 42-0, 40 KOs. There's nothing to say. Again, first boxer ever to be undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes. I don't think niggas understand how insane that is. Like, I don't think niggas understand that. And just going forward, there's no other fight for him to take. Who else is there for Bud to fight? I don't think he's one of them, them entertainment boxers either, in terms of, him going to get a Jake Paul bag or Logan Paul bag. If you want to do that, cool. But, just for the fun of it. But just as far as his professional boxing record, he's done it all. He's done it all. He went up against Errol when they was undefeated. Niggas said it was going to be tough in there. Handled him worse than he did Canelo. So, there was a lot of people who was rolling with Canelo just for the simple fact that he was coming up to his weight class, but he still had that same speed. He still had that same defense. He still had that same, the IQ was there too. Because anything that Canelo felt like he was coming with, and he was landing some shots, he was. But it was just like he was absorbing them shit like it was nothing. Like you literally could not do nothing with that man, bro. You literally couldn't do nothing with him. So again, salute to Bud Crawford putting on an absolute clinic. That was one of the greatest performances of all time. My only gripe, bro, we got to start catering to the West Coast, bro. We have to stop. And this really goes across all sports, bro. More so, I'm gonna speak more so to the NBA. NFL, I really don't have too much issues because NFL, even when we have a doubleheader on Monday night, if it's a West Coast game, bro, that shit kicking off at about 10 o'clock. So, okay, cool, I get it. But NBA and boxing, all this other shit, bro, I understand the fight is in Vegas. But my God, the fight didn't start till literally 12:57 a.m. So technically, the fight didn't start on Saturday. The fight started on Sunday, bro. If you're gonna have a fight of this magnitude, start that shit at 8 o'clock Eastern time, bro. That's 5 p.m. West Coast. They not doing nothing on 5 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, bro. There's no reason why that fight should start at 12 a.m. That should never happen. So that's really my only gripe, bro. It's like, going forward, man, like, let's start these fights earlier. Because, of course, you got 3 undercards, bro. We already know that. It's going to be 3 undercard fights. Start the shit at 5 o'clock. So by the time this shit start, we at least getting the fight started at least about 10, 11 o'clock, bro. Like, come on. That's the least that you can do for us. For us on the East Coast, bro. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Next up, Adam Silver doing dumb shit again. So Adam Silver implemented. Well, first of all, there's this new rule that if you do a heave shot before the buzzer, it won't count towards the individual player stats. It'll count towards the team stats, which I don't fucking get. Whoever takes a shot, that should affect their shooting percentage. So I don't know what the fuck is up with that. I don't know. And it seems, I've given Adam Silver some credit for the thing that he's implemented over the last couple years. Like, he did a good job with the in-season tournament. He did a good job with the 65-game rule. But now with this comments as regards to him and this whole entertainment shit, let me go ahead. This was a question a reporter asked in terms of NBA fans, the average NBA fan not be able to afford to watch all the games. Let me go ahead and play it.
There's a huge amount of our content that people can essentially consume for free. I mean, this is very much a highlights-based sport, so, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it, any service, the New York Times for that matter, to the extent that your content is not behind a paid firewall. There's an enormous amount of content out there. YouTube, by another example, that is advertising-based that consumers can consume.
Bro, listen, Adam Silver, dog, listen. And again, this is to, speaking to fans who can't afford streaming services to watch NBA games, all that. So basically he said, because the price is going up. There's going to be NBA games. I think this is the first season where NBA games are going to be on Amazon Prime. I knew it was going to come to this shit, honestly. I knew it was going to come to this because money trumps everything. At the end of the day, these sports leagues don't give a fuck about the fans. No matter how much they try to portray that they do, they don't. It's about getting money at the end of the day. And the first implement of this shit was when they started putting them logo patches on the courts, especially on the jerseys. Like, I remember when I first saw them, like, bro, this is what they doing with jerseys now? Like, it's not that serious. Like, NBA jerseys shouldn't have the fucking logos that represent the team on the jerseys. That was the first rollout. Then you started putting them on the courts. Then you started going across all these different streaming platforms and all this shit, YouTube TV, all this other shit. An NBA fan shouldn't have to break their bank to watch regular season games. Now, we already got NBA League Pass. That should be enough. Why do I have to go get Peacock? Why do I have to go on, fucking Amazon? Why I gotta go on this? Why I gotta go on that, bro? It's not that serious at the end of the day. You're the NBA. Your revenue continues to go up every single year. You gotta get more money by telling somebody they gotta go get Peacock. And then what they doing is they stupid because they doing all these bundling packages. Talking about you get ESPN, Hulu, and all this other. Motherfucker, that's cable. So you got rid of cable to just come back and circle the block with some 3-4 channel package deal bullshit. That's cable. What the fuck am I paying for that for? And no, I'm not getting Peacock. I'm not getting that. This go for NBA and NFL. I'm not getting that shit. Because I know they trying to roll that shit out with the NBC. It's not happening, bro. So all this highlight shit, I shouldn't have to watch fucking highlights, my nigga. What are you talking about? I want to watch the full game. Highlights been on YouTube. So for him to even say that, it's like, bro, that's literally a slap in the face of the fans. But again, I try to tell y'all a few years ago when everybody was getting on Roger Goodell, rightfully so, everybody was trying to prop up Adam Silver above Roger Goodell. No, they one and the same. The bottom line is money. Point blank period. That's all it's about at the end of the day, getting money. It's all it's about, getting money. So again, I already got Amazon Prime anyway because of course, like I got Amazon Prime. So if I probably won't have to pay extra to watch, NBA games. That's just me personally. But this whole Peacock, YouTube, and all this other shit, I remember I seen some shit even with the NFL for an NFL fan to watch, NFL games this year on like all the games, it would cost them like around $1,000 for a single NFL season. No, sir. They trying to do this bullshit now where they doing this month to month for NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. That shit don't mean nothing. It's still gonna amount to, if not, you might be paying more in a month to month than if you go do the total shit. Cause that shit add up more when you do it across a month to month basis. That's why they say you can go ahead and do the yearly shit, which makes sense because I do a lot of yearly subs for a lot of the shit that I got. But this whole, as far as NBA and NFL and all this viewership shit, bro, motherfucker, the average fan don't got it to break their bank to watch games, bro. It shouldn't be like that. Put this shit on ESPN, CBS, NBC, Fox, and call it a fucking day. And as far as NBA, same shit. Put it on ABC, TNT, TBS, whatever the case may be, and call it a fucking day. It's not that serious at the end of the day for you to be getting all this extra bread when you already generate all this revenue already. We know because the salary cap continues to go up every fucking season. So you're going to hit the fans in their pockets too. All right, man, it is what it is. I'm not the one making decisions, but if I was, I would have loved to have been the ones that make them because this shit got to stop. It's literally not that serious at the end of the day, man. It's really not. So getting into some college football shit, man. I wasn't going to waste the opportunity to get on Clemson, sorry ass. I did call that loss. I wanted it to be a blowout, but it wasn't. Georgia Tech won the game on a 55-yard kick to go ahead and send the motherfuckers home, man. So the Clemson Tigers are now 1-2, man. Hey, man, rest in peace, man. I ain't got no remorse for them, man. The ACC running through Florida State, man. Like I said a few weeks ago, man. It's running through the ACC. I mean, it's running through Florida State, bro. And K Klubnik, that motherfucker has been hyped up for a few seasons now. That man is sorry. He's an XFL starter. I seen him in some mock drafts being like top 10 pick in the draft. Where? He's not accurate. His decision making is terrible. He don't really got no strong physical attributes as far as like arm strength. He don't got nothing that stands out. Like, yeah, he can scramble a little bit, but he is sorry. Sorry. So if you a team going into next year's draft and you got him at the top of your draft boards, you deserve to be fired. You deserve to be fired. Like, yeah, I hate Clemson, but I can be fair too. So if he was good, I would have said he's good. That motherfucker's sorry. But again, the fandom in me, I'm happy they went down. I did predict Georgia Tech taking home this W. I wanted to be in a blowout fashion, but it wasn't a blowout fashion, but I take it. 55-yard field goal to win the game. They stormed the field on their ass. And like I said, man, the ACC is going to run through the nose, man. Y'all niggas better wake up because we and Dabo Swinney, oh, man, it's so beautiful. I love to see his face after losses, man. I just love to see Dabo Swinney's face after losses, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Another notable, Notre Dame. I'm sick of them too. Another team that be imaginary players, bro. They continuously come into every season ranked in the top 10, and I can't understand it for the life of me. The most fraudulent college football team since 1987 is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And they came into this game again ranked 8th. Now, they lost their first game of the season to Miami, and they still remained in the top 10. I think they was ranked 5. They dropped down to 8. Now they 0-2. Stop putting these guys in the top 10 going into the season. Stop. Just stop doing it. This is a special case for Notre Dame because they continuously get this pass like as if they're like that. These niggas ain't like that. I don't care what they did in the playoffs last year. I don't give a fuck. They never live up to the hype at the end of the day. They never get to the championship stage and perform. Like it. They don't get busy. They just don't. They don't get busy. I'm sorry. They don't. That's where I'm at with it. Like I don't like them neither. I don't. So some of this might be hate, and I'm gonna own my hate. And niggas wouldn't call it hate. Hey, Fuck Notre Dame. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm tired of these niggas always getting this look as if they're supposed to be dominating. No, they not. Sorry, bro. Like, these niggas just don't. They don't move the needle for me, man. They don't. Let me see. And honestly, I wanted when that national championship game last year, bro, I wanted Ohio State to drag them so bad. I mean, they won by 11. Jeremiah Smith had a big, catch towards the end of the game that kind of iced it. They won that game 34-23. But I wasn't even tricked last year when I'm like, bro, these niggas ain't about to win no championship, bro. They not. And I only feel like they only really beat Georgia's because, Carson Beck, he was hurt, and then I'm just tired. Like, I'm tired of Notre Dame being ranked up there, bro. After this loss, these niggas should be unranked. They should be I understand Texas A&M, they was ranked 16, but bro, put these niggas like at 20, 24, 25 or some shit. Enough of them niggas, man. Enough is enough. I'm tired of them dudes, man. I'm tired of them dudes. So, getting into some NFL shit, man. Bryce Young, I got to bring it to the carpet, bro. And, of course, this, my episode, this drops on Monday. So, the game, week 2 game would already been played. And if Bryce Young played a good game, I'm still not sold. Because, again, coming off of last year, him coming off a high and, ending the season on a high note, I'm like, okay, Bryce is getting some consistency. Bryce is in year 3 still making the same mistakes. That interception that he had, I'm literally watching like, bro, don't throw it. Don't throw it. Run for the first. He throws it. Gets tipped up in the air, interception. I saw that from a mile away. Not making the proper reads. Then his receivers not helping. It's just a culmination of things. But more so, I got to get on Bryce Young because he's my quarterback at the end of the day. He's a guy who touches the ball the most throughout the game. Bryce is still making these same mistakes. Underthrowing Hunter Renfrow for a wide open touchdown that was ultimately an incomplete pass on 3rd down. It's like you're regressing. You're regressing. I just don't understand it. It's looking like Bryce is really not that guy. You cannot be the guy if you're not consistent. You can't end the season on that high of a note and then revert back to your old shit. So at this point, I really don't see the need to extend Bryce Young. I really don't. Next year, we going into year 4. We all know the rookie deal is a 4-year deal, but he's not looking like the future. He's not. That's just me being real. He's not. He's not looking like the guy. And again, of course, I want Bryce to be good. He didn't end the season on, but bruh, this up and down shit got to stop. Who are you at the end of the day? And what Bryce Young is looking like he's not that guy. He's looking like he's not that guy. He's not. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Caleb Williams. And there's 2 quarterbacks I'm going to get on as regards. So that's all really I got to say about Bryce. Caleb Williams had a 11-point lead against the Vikings, squandered that away. I've never seen a quarterback, and I have, but like just like with Caleb, like just wide open receivers that he be missing. DJ Moore is open against a cover 2. There's no reason why that ball should have been thrown out of bounds. Just no reason. DJ Moore should have been coasting into the end zone. You're throwing hospital balls at DJ Moore as well. So for all the highs that I seen Caleb Williams have, he got some low lows. So again, with him, it's like, who are you two, bro? And I understand it's only year 2, so I ain't going to really kill him too much. But the fact of the matter is Caleb Williams has had the best weapons for any quarterback to start his career. That's a fact. It's not to be debated. It's not to be debated. He has had the best weapons for any quarterback to start his career in NFL history. And he's not really been living up to the hype because he's had hype of hype. I remember his rookie year, people saying the Bears can get to the NFC Championship game. At minimum, be a wild card team. Going into this year, oh yeah, the Bears are they'll definitely be a playoff team. Really? Because if Caleb Williams is going to do shit like this, it's going to be another long fucking season. And then that pressure is just going to continue to amount. It's just going to continue to amount because he's not living up to the hype that y'all said. And y'all love to put generational tags on guys. Y'all love to put generational tags on guys. Y'all got to stop using that word loosely. He's not. Did I think Caleb Williams had the potential to be a franchise quarterback? Yes. Generational, he don't got the physical attributes of being generational off rip. And then his skills are not even to that level yet. Does he have some wild throws? Yes. But again, his wild throws ain't been consistent with who he is as a quarterback, bro. Like, he got to get better with his reads. And them overthrows are, some of them throws you can't miss those. You can't miss those if you're Caleb Williams. You can't do it. Those are just inexcusable. First quarter, he had a nice throw on a run, dime. Then second half of the game was like, bro, he's the complete opposite. So he got to tighten up as far as that. He got to tighten up as far as that. He do. But I got to give props on the flip side. Jj McCarthy, hey, I wasn't a believer. I wasn't. I was not a believer of Jj McCarthy coming out of Michigan. I know he was hurt last year. He didn't play last year. Going into this year, I was kind of like, I don't know about this guy. For you to have your first start on the road, Monday Night Football, and have that comeback, we ain't seen no shit like that. You got to get credit. He kept his head down, made some amazing throws, had the clutch gene in him. I gotta give JJ McCarthy his credit, bro. I wasn't a believer. Salute to you. That was a great comeback in that fashion. For it to be your first start too, I gotta give you your props. So I'm interested to see how JJ McCarthy finishes off the season, but it's a strong start. And Kevin O'Connell said something at the post game. He was like, I told him halftime, he's gonna lead us back to victory. And goddamn it, JJ McCarthy stood on that shit. He did, because that's not no easy task, especially after throwing a pick six. In the third quarter, too, he could have easily hung his head and said, nah, that's not where I'm at with it, bro. I'm going to go ahead and nah. Dawgs stood tall and made some great throws. He led them boys back, and he got a W. So salute to Jj McCarthy, bro. Like, I didn't see it, but you shut me up. So definitely, you deserve your props and your roses on that. Nothing else really as far as NFL. You know, the Packers are still looking dominant. First two games of the season is very early, so I don't want to jump out the window yet. But I did have Jordan Love as my MVP pick before the season. I did. That's not something that, I jumped on. It was popular. I've been saying it like around June, July, that he was going to be kind of like my MVP pick, my sleeper MVP pick for the season. But the Packers look good. That defense is looking good. Micah Parsons is looking, he looking like he coming for some Defensive Player of the Year award. You get what I'm saying? And also, like, I remember when the trade went down, there was a lot of Dallas fans trying to cope by saying, like, oh, Jerry finessed the Packers. Micah got a back injury. That motherfucker don't got no back injury. Not the way he coming off the line and making them swing moves and how he ducking. I'm not seeing it. So the Packers look very strong. They look very strong. They look like they could contend, with the Eagles as far as being the top dog in the NFC. So we got to see how that plays out as well. We had a classic game last Sunday. Oh, man. Shout out to the Bills and Josh Allen, man. Shout out my dog, Josh Allen. Everybody knows Josh Allen is my favorite quarterback in the league. For him to orchestrate that comeback, coming back down 15 under 4 minutes to go in the game, first time that ever been done, threw for 261 yards and threw 2 touchdowns, rushed for 1. That's the first time that ever has happened. Let me go ahead and pull up the actual stat so motherfuckers can understand who they dealing with right now. Let me see. Josh Allen in the fourth quarter, 16-21, 269 total yards, 3 TDs. The first play of the century to throw for 250-plus yards in the fourth quarter of a win. Amazing comeback. Amazing comeback. Amazing comeback. I ain't really getting on Lamar Jackson too much because Lamar Jackson, he had a great game. I put more so of that on Derrick Henry and in the defense. I did find it funny though. There was a fourth down play that they didn't go for, and it was because he said he was cramping up. That was a little bit of the Anthony Richardson popping out of him. I don't know. I just know Anthony Richardson, he touched himself out of the game too. But I'll play it, man. I'll fuck with Lamar, man. I really don't get on too much about that. But I did find that little nugget to be funny though, because we did get on Anthony Richardson last year for that. But that was a crazy collapse. And if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I'm not keeping Jair Alexander on my team. I'm not. I wasn't a fan of him, going to the All-Season. I'm like, he ain't really been lo and behold. Dog look washed. But shout out my nigga Keon Coleman, man. I told niggas he was going to take a leap this year, FSU. Shout out to the Noles again. My dog Keon Coleman stepped up big in that game, bro. My dog had 8 catches, 138 yards, I think a touchdown. So it's looking like Keon could, rise to be that number one for Buffalo, man. He got the capabilities. He's 6'3", 215, very athletic. He got a basketball background. So salute to Keon Coleman. But again, salute to my dog Josh Allen, man. Again, in that fourth quarter, my dog was 16 of 21, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns. The first player ever this century to throw for 250 in the fourth quarter of a win, cold-blooded. My dog walked them niggas down. Man. Coming off an MVP year, for that to be your first game off your MVP year, spoke to why he was an MVP, man. So again, salute to Josh Allen, man. And I expect more performances of this level from Josh this season, man, because that's just what it is, man. That's just how you give it up. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got for this week, man. That's pretty much all I got. Again, thank y'all for tapping in with me, man. Again, if you got any goals that you're trying to achieve, you got any, dreams you're trying to reach, man, continue to put in that work, pray on it daily, be disciplined in your actions, in your work. Don't cheat yourself. Please, please don't cheat yourself. And also, get your ass in that gym. Please, please get your ass in the gym. The gym will do you wonders that you could never imagine, man. It could translate to other parts of your life. And ultimately, please, please be safe. So like I say every week, man, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.